One of the coolest things about Yu-Gi-Oh! Ultimate Master World is that it has an incredible amount of alternate artwork cards. And just to put it in perspective, there were 9 cards with alternate artwork in Stairway to the Destined Duel World Championship Tournament 2003. There were only 2 in 2004 and 2 in 7 Trials to Glory World Championship Tournament 2005. Well, Ultimate Masters packed a whopping 35 cards with alternate artworks, and 11 of them have more than 2 artworks to choose from. So we're going to take a look at all of them and go over how to obtain them. The originals are of course obtainable through their respective packs and card passwords, but their variations can only be found in specialty packs with only 2 exceptions. The first of which is that you can find 2 different Blue Eyes artworks in the Legend of Blue Eyes pack. It contains both the classic starter deck artwork and the true Legend of Blue Eyes artwork. However, the starter deck artwork is included at an ultra rare, while the true pack artwork is at a secret rare. And funnily enough, they downgraded Trihorn Dragon all the way down to common, so that's pretty rough. The other exception is that you can find the Arcana version of Dark Magician in the Spellcaster Collection A set, but this time it's easier to get because it's a super rare, while the original Dark Magician artwork in the same set and in Legend of Blue Eyes are both an ultra rare, which I'm sure is a treat to the 2 Arcana fans out there. But if you don't want to grind Spellcaster packs, then there are only 2 alternate artworks obtainable through the password machine, and Arcana Dark Magician is one of them. The other being Polymerization, which, like Dark Magician, has been obtainable through its own individual password in every World Championship Tournament game up to this point. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. The alternate artwork cards are only obtainable through what I like to call the all packs. There are 6 of them, and they're only unlocked via overall percentage completion. Normal Monsters is unlocked very early, while the rest are unlocked quite a bit after you've played through the game. And depending on what you're looking for, you're going to need to do some searching in the pack category it falls under to find it. While all of the alternate artworks do technically exist in the All at Random pack, if you're not aware for some reason, you can't actually reach 100% completion, so you can't unlock this pack without using cheat codes. So effectively, the variants can only be obtained through one specific pack. So these are the cards separated into their pack categories, and let's go pack by pack and take a look at them a little bit closer up. And just as a side note, all of the original artworks are included in the all sets along with the variants, so you might get the card, but it might be the original artwork, so try not to rage too hard when that happens. There are only 3 cards in this game with 4 different artworks, and all of them are normal monsters and reside in this first pack. These are Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Black Dragon, all of which have amazing artwork options, and you pretty much can't go wrong with any of them. There's only one normal monster with 3 different artworks, and that is Summon Skull, which has some pretty cool artwork as well, and even has some applications in legacy formats, which is pretty nice. You also see some other great cards like Gemini Elf and Vorse Raider, which are some of the best beat sticks. You also have Millennium Shield, which can put in some work every once in a while, and some of the other ones are a little bit irrelevant, but look at this Gaia artwork, that's pretty cool. Anyways, we are moving on to our next pack, which is the Effect Monsters, and I'm going to ignore everything else and talk about how we have a fine selection of Dark Magician girls. Honestly, I want to make a Spellcaster deck and put one of each of these in there. The Big Shield Gardna has some utility, and it can tank a Nobleman and typically reflect some damage, so it's probably the most competitively used card here. Panther Warrior has some applications and just has really good stats for a normal summonable monster, although it's kind of hard to see its face almost like it's headless here. But anyways, Karibo and Wing Karibo have some really fun choices, which can be great for a theme deck. Other than that, there's the Guilford Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon and Visor Des, which is cool. Moving on to the fusion monsters, there are some nice anime picks here in Flame Swordsman and Thousand Dragon, although this Flame Swordsman kind of has like a weird hand. I don't Like, look at, I try to do that. Anyways, the others are really cool. We have 2 versions of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and since it's an extra deck monster, you can probably throw both of them in there and just summon whichever one you're feeling more at the time. And we only had one XYZ Dragon Cannon in the TCG, but we get to select from 3 different artworks in this game, and they all slap pretty hard. And of course, one of the most iconic monsters of all time, Dark Paladin, coming in 3 different godlike variations. Then we have our microscopic list of spells, but all of them are pretty good and see a decent amount of use. We have the World Championship 2003 Harpy's Feather Duster, and also the Tournament Pack 8 artwork, so you can sweep the back rows in style. There's also 2 versions of Polymerization, which should be no surprise as it's one of the main alternate arcs in the early games too, and pretty classic. Then there's Toon World, which is obviously the centerpiece of the Toon deck, and comes in Spooky Book Castle or Colorful Book of Fun. Both are pretty cool in my opinion. And finally, there are the traps, of which there are only 6, but there's some pretty big hitters included. There's the Epic Crush card, which was in the OCG way earlier, but we didn't get it in the TCG until 2007 when it was a prize card. There's Widespread Ruin, which is one of the greatest 1-for-1 removal spells behind Sakuretsu Armor, and less commonly used but still has some utility, Acid Trap Hole, which can take care of face downs and hit some pretty annoying stuff. Kunai with Chain is another card we didn't have in the TCG at the time, but has some cool options and works like a slightly worse enemy controller, so it's not totally terrible. Stronghold is another alternate artwork you may not notice, as we only got 1 artwork here in the Rock Structure deck in early 2007, and while it looks kind of the same, it does have some pretty neat extra details on the chest. Lastly, there's Metalmorph, which is the brother of the alternate Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, and is pretty cool for when you're variant swagging out. So yeah, those are all the alternate artworks you can obtain in this game, and it's just a really nice aesthetic touch that adds a little bit to the playability of the game, in a sense that you have to grind for a bit to get them. And like, no meme, getting to play with the best of what the TCG and the OCG had to offer is truly amazing, and is one of the reasons why this game holds up so well even today. I hope you enjoyed this glance at alternate artworks. You should like totally hang out and like subscribe sometime. And also, if you see anyone using this Flame Swordsman, I'd go ahead and report them to Konami and Nintendo, just to make sure.